Yeah. Oneal, is Kenny here? Kenny's not here. KD is here. So I'm sure there are others that are probably just on the way or not. So this is very unscripted, as you can tell. So back in fact, and Mark is up here. So someone had asked me when was my son asked me how long have I known McLean? And I said, actually, I don't know how long I haven't known McLean. It's been that long that we've all known each other. So at Toronto East back in the late 80s, early 90s, we were the stuff. Absolutely. And it is extended even to today. We're global. So we went on camping trips together, we argued together, we argued in Sabbath school together, we made jokes together, we saw each other through good and bad, we saw each other through bad and good. We never envied anybody, we never felt that someone had more or less. We went to each other's homes, whether you were in Ontario housing, we saw houses that were not that great, houses that were great. We saw cars that had different colored doors on them. In fact, I remember one time Clive's car blew up on the highway. Now, I say all that to say that as a group of men, we've lost one. And as a group of men, we realize the significance of losing someone that you've known for such a long time. It's disheartening at times because you realize that there's someone that you're not going to see again. All of us have seen McLean, we're sure, at one time or the other. We've talked to him, chatted with him, been with him. Surprised when it happened, he was here the week before. But I think one of the things that we want to say is that as men, we grew together, didn't grow apart, and grew stronger because McLean was in the midst. So although we felt that we were the ish, as people would say, we realized that there was a common bond that we all had. It was at a church, in a group of people. You could rely on them, you could ask them for favors, you could talk to them, and McLean was one of them. So the stories can be countless, but I think one of the things that I think is important is that I would want to make sure that his family, Siobhan, and the kids know that we still stand together. So what I'm saying is that every single man that is standing up here is willing to help in any way that we can. So what we're saying is that I don't have to ask them. I haven't asked them, but I know that it's the case. So if someone needs a job, needs to understand how to fill something out, needs to know what it takes to do this, all of the men that are standing up here are saying that our numbers are open. Our abilities are there for you. We didn't just stand together in good times, we stand together in bad times, but we stand together all the time. So I think that's something that McLean would want us to say. And that's something that we would want to make sure that you know. That we didn't just stand with him in life, but we stand with him even when he passes. So it is true. It doesn't matter what you ask. And hopefully at times you won't even have to ask us. That we'll check in. We'll find out a way to help. We'll make sure that grades stay the way they're supposed to. We'll make sure that university is something that's accomplished. So we have to make sure that in death we don't let him down. And so I'll leave it there.
This is Richard and not Robert. The one thing that I would like to say that was on a tribute to this church. You will hear today a lot of things about McLean, and the one thing I wanted to make sure was said was that this church was the soil we grew out of. And although many of us have gone on to different parts of the world and have gone on to different careers and we've blossomed in our families, it's important for this church to understand that we as men up here, and many of the Toronto East alumni that are here today, our character the fabric of who we are was woven in this church. And so, although we're here today to say goodbye to McLean and to support the family, I think it's a good opportunity to reflect back to the church that you've done well. That there's none of us here that are unaccounted for. There's none of us here that have stepped away from the word of the Lord. That we can still walk into this building with our heads held high. And although, again, as I said, we've gone on to different parts of the world and we've done different things, we remain ambassadors of Toronto East Seventh-day Adventist Church. And so my only prayer is that you continue to keep us lifted. As men, as the alumni, many people here are from 170 Westwood with the green and white tiles in the basement. Red carpet. How many people got licks in the room just at the stairs? My time is far spent, but I wanted to say, of course, condolences to the family. This family is my family. This family, this is a family that was at Sister P's house all the time. We grew up in a single family home. Although my father wasn't there, I didn't lack for fathers. Between Uncle George, Uncle Moses, that's why we're able to be here today and we're completely accounted for, because we had models. Yes. We had role models. We had people that we could look to and say we want to be like them. And so I just want to say, extend our condolences to the family on behalf of my brother and Sister P who's here today. And to, again, just keep us lifted as the alumni of Toronto East. We may not be here on Shepherd Avenue, but we're here on Shepherd Avenue. God bless you.
We should meet before we get a speech. Yes.